Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my very first sit down video using my brand new camera and I'm very excited about it. I am recording today my 19 things learned in 2019 video for you guys. I am going to try and get this up as soon as I possibly can. Today is January 5th, I believe, yeah. So I'm really hoping to get it up as soon as possible because I really want to share what I learned in 2019 with you guys. Some of these things are pretty obvious, some of them are a bit more personal, so I really hope you enjoy this video. I hope it gives you a little bit of insight on my life as well as maybe help you figure out what you learned and how you can grow in 2020. That is, I guess, the biggest goal of this video for you guys. If it's a little bit echoey in here, it's because we have Isaac's drum sets in this room right now, so I really apologize about that. But without further ado, let's just get straight into the first one. I have them all on my phone, so God, guys, I am so happy to have a camera and now I can actually use my phone when I need to read notes and stuff for videos like this. So anyway, give this video a big thumbs up if you are going to like all of these. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm praying and I'm manifesting that 2020 is our year to really grow as a channel and as a family. So yeah, very excited. And yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. So I have 19 things here I'm just gonna talk about with you guys, and I think they're all really good, so let's get into it. So number one is, I feel like a lot of people already know this, but judging complete strangers will get you nowhere. If you're judging people that you have never met, you don't know their life, you just have seen them on the street and you're like, wow, they're weird, or like, wow, what are they doing? Like, that's just filling your brain with negativity. That's just not necessary. So in order to avoid that, let's just avoid judging people we don't know. So I'm hoping to leave that behind. I'm trying my best to be a little bit more positive in 2020. Second thing is, it is okay to not be okay. It's okay to be bored, because I have so many friends and family who say that they're super bored with their life, they're sick of things happening, and for me personally, I've been there, I've done that, and I've realized that being bored actually gets your brain, you know, gets the gears going and gets you to be a little bit more creative with your life. It can help you, you know, like being in that slump of boredom can kind of get you to be inspired and start something new. So I really don't think being upset or being bored is necessarily a bad thing. It's just what you make of it. So I personally think it can get you to be really creative and switch things up. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to be bored with your life, because I just think it, in the end, always works out. So number three might come off as like something negative towards my relationship, but it's really not. I just wanted to say that relationships are hard, even when they're not hard. Isaac and I are doing really well. We never have issues. We're great. We're awesome, from what I know. And even though it's not necessarily hard right now, relationships are always going to be hard. So if you're going into 2020 single and, you know, you're hoping for this relationship and something light and breezy, all relationships, if you're serious enough about them, take effort and patience and getting to know that person. And I just think it's a really beautiful thing. It's hard and it's, you know, a learning curve, but yeah, relationships are really hard even when they're not hard. So keep that in mind if you've never been in like a super serious relationship, that most do come with a lot of baggage, and that's okay. If you love the person, it's worth working for. Number four is definitely a personal one for me, and I think a lot of people go through this, but someone can have the greatest intentions, can be the nicest friend possible, and they just might not be right for you. So I found myself a lot in 2019. I had toxic relationships and friendships, but I also had not very toxic relationships and friendships, and they just kind of weren't right for me regardless. Like I said, they could have been the nicest person and the vibe just wasn't there. I wasn't receiving the right energy from them, and it's okay to put yourself first in that situation. If you really don't feel right about being that person's friend, like, you can just straight up let them know how you're feeling, that you need some time apart, and just do you, because honestly, like I said, they don't even have to be a toxic person, but you just gotta do what's best for you regardless of the situation. You might feel really bad, and that's gonna happen, but yeah. People can have the best intentions, but no matter what, it might just not work for you. The dynamic just might not be right. So keep that in mind. If you have a friend or something that you just have these really bad vibes coming from, there could be some underlying reason and you might just need some space, or you just might need to cut them out altogether, and that's okay. Number 5, I feel like I've mentioned this time and time again on my channel and on my Instagram and stuff, which you should go follow, by the way. It's my baby, go check her out. But the gym can and will change your life. So I've been going to the gym for like almost 3 years now. I think 3 years in March. And if you open up and let yourself go like a few times every week for a long period of time, you realize just how much it can change your life in the best way possible. Like, even though I have lost weight, I've gained weight, I'm going through this weird plateau phase right now, the body image part is not nearly as important as how it's helped me mentally. So if you are thinking about making that one of your resolutions for 2020, going to the gym, maybe don't take it as like a body image or like, I don't know, like a fitnessy weight loss type thing. Honestly, if anything, it'll help your mental health and your energy and everything so much more too. So just keep that in mind. Like, the gym really changed my life, and yeah, I just can't imagine not going anymore. I still have a lot of problems, and I'm about to get to it with food, but the gym is one thing that I will never cut out, so I'm just letting you know. Alright, and then yeah, going into number 6, portion control, eating out less, and proper nutrition is hard. I struggled with this throughout all of 2019. Isaac can vouch for that. I tried everything I possibly could. I feel like, okay, that's not true, but like with, you know, the amount of money I have and everything like that, I tried a lot of stuff, and I tried a lot of different recipes to try and get me on like the right track in my nutrition, and it's hard. So 2019 was not the year for that. I'm hoping that 2020 is going to be a little bit better when it comes to that. I have a plan. I want to strategically grocery shop more. I want to hopefully get Isaac to be kind of a part of it, so that way, you know, I feel a little bit better since I'm always with him. It's kind of hard, like, it's kind of hard constantly eating like really healthy and stuff when, you know, not everyone in your life does eat that healthy, and, you know, you just have to take control of your life and your food habits. But it's really hard, like I said, when other people in your life aren't the same as you. So I really want to just like stick to my gut and say no to eating out as much, stuff like that. So yeah, that's number 6. It's just that eating out less, portion control, and proper nutrition are really hard. Number 7 is definitely one for me that's a bit more personal. So for those of you who don't know, I live in a different city than where my family and most of my friends live. I go to school here, so it's about like 2 hours away, and I realized in 2019 that it's very easy to forget to pick up the phone. And I think in first year and even in like high school and stuff, I called my mom every single day. Like, I would call her all the time. When I was in high school, I'd call her right when I got home and talk to her at work. In first year, I would talk to her at the end of every day, just updating her on how everything was going. But then after that, I kind of just went to like a downward spiral of not really calling people as much. And yeah, it's just really easy to not pick up the phone. And in 2020, I want to do my best to do better when it comes to keeping updated with other people's lives. So like, I definitely noticed in the last half of 2019, like, I wasn't calling my mom for like a week or 2 at a time. So not to say I need to call her every day, but like, if I can call my parents, you know, twice a week or something, just to know what's going on with them, how they're doing, if they're okay, that just is a goal for me. I really want to do that. So yeah, that's one thing I definitely realized in 2019. Life gets so busy with jobs and school that you just forget to pick up the phone, and in 2019 I'm going to pick up the phone more. Number 8 is definitely a random one, and it might be funny to some people, but I definitely noticed that a lot of people hate on like retail jobs and fast food jobs, and to be fair, I did not like a lot of mine either. The only 2 jobs I've ever had that are like that I liked were, I worked at Marble Slab for like 3 years, and I really liked it there. I got like a new opportunity, which is why I left, and right now I work at Value Village, which is like a thrift shop, and I love it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I started in February at Value Village, and honestly, the people there are so positive. They changed my life. They're so trustworthy and kind, and I just think it's not something you can judge until you've gone into it, because every place is different. So if you're younger, like maybe you're like 15 trying to get your first job, definitely don't judge all retail and fast food based on other people's experiences. It really depends on where you go, because I know that Value Village for me is definitely a really good fit. That's just kind of something I learned, that not all retail jobs are going to be bad ones, so just keep your mind open and hopefully your job will end up being really fun for you. Going back to kind of like the gym and how it makes me feel mentally, I definitely caught myself a lot in 2019 feeling really insecure about my body image, and not to say that that's still not true. Like, I do go through phases of like, ew, I don't like the way I look, blah blah blah, and like that's a very female thing I find that happens. I think I read a statistic that 90% of women really dislike their body and like have really bad eating habits because they're so insecure about themselves, and like I'm definitely a part of that 90%, and I think I read that only like 8% of men are like that. So don't quote me on that, but I thought that was interesting, because men don't hold as much body fat as women, just because obviously we're fertile. But yeah, so what I actually wanted to say was, it's not about how you look. So yeah, I caught myself a lot of the time feeling really down on myself and the way I looked, even though I was working so freaking hard, like at the gym, and like I said, I was trying with my nutrition. It wasn't perfect whatsoever, but it's not about how you look, it's about how you feel. So I definitely felt really good in 2019 when it came to like, I don't know, just my energy and stuff. Like, I had off days obviously, but I'm working out for me, I'm working out to feel good, and if you're working out just to look good for someone else, like that is not a look. So yeah, I just want to say it's not about how you look, it's about how you feel. Definitely go into working out this year if you're going to with that mindset, and go into, you know, mindful eating and that mindset instead. That's about it. Number 10, saving money is not as hard as it looks. So for me, I worked one full-time job and one part-time job in the summer, and I was able to save $3,000 in 4 months while also still being able to, you guys saw on my channel, go camping like 3 times. I did a ton of fun things. I was still able to buy stuff for myself and others and blah blah blah. Like, I saved that amount of money in 4 months, and I'm just being super transparent with you guys on how much I saved, obviously, and that money is still in my account to this day. If you're able to have a lot of fun experiences and save money, it's a lot easier than you think. You just have to be a bit more responsible. So I would really highly recommend budgeting. Maybe use like an Excel spreadsheet to budget, you know, like your rent, your car payment, your phone bill, whatever you have to pay, and then you'll know like how much you should pay for your food every week on average, and then you can kind of have a little like entertainment, you know, like play money, and then how much you're saving. So that's kind of what I did. I believe I started doing that in, I think I only did that maybe in March or April. I started doing that in 2019, and it really helped, and I've been doing a lot better when it comes to money since then. I definitely found myself struggling more like in 2018 with my money. Also, being with Isaac has helped because he likes to save money and he's really good at it, and kind of like pushes me to do the same for a future. But yeah, that's besides the point. So number 11 kind of goes with the one about not picking up the phone that much, but it's more so about like friends. So keeping in touch with friends is super important, whether they live in your city or, you know, you've moved away like I have. So I do my best to either text or FaceTime or call, like Shelby for example, as often as possible. We both are in school, we have busy lives, but we like to keep in touch just to remind each other how much we love each other and how much we miss each other too, because honestly, like, she's my best friend and I haven't even lived in the same city with her since 2015. Like, it's been so long, and yet we still have such a strong relationship. Maybe it's just because of like our vibes being so similar, but at the same time, keeping in touch. And when I go home, I make sure to like make time for her. It's really important. So yeah, and she comes up here, she was here for New Year's, like all that stuff. Just similar thing to the whole picking up the phone. If you have friends in a different area and you want to stay in touch, just make sure you do it. I did this in 2019, and I learned that it really does help strengthen your friendship. But it's also really cool to know that, like, even if I didn't call her like once a month or something like that, her and I still have like an understanding that like it's okay if we don't chat all the time. We both love each other, nothing bad has happened, and that's just the way it is because of how busy we are, and we know that eventually we'll come to call or hang out again and it'll be like nothing changed. So number 12 is such an important one, I find, for like this generation and like millennials or whatever, because I have heard probably the most is that social media is such a negative place for people, that, you know, you should get off social media, you should detox from social media, blah blah blah, all these things. And like, I think that, yeah, if you're doing the wrong things on there, if you're following the wrong people, watching the wrong videos, like if you put yourself in that negative mindset and watch all of that stuff or look at all that stuff or read all that stuff, whatever it is, like, yeah, social media is going to be something negative in your life. But if you have the right intentions, if you follow the right people and use it the right way, I think that social media can be very powerful. Like for me, I love Twitter. I think it's hilarious. And I also love my Instagram, my fit Instagram, which obviously I follow people who post stuff about food and fitness and working out, and that stuff makes me happy and there's no negativity there for me. So like, I tend to stay on my fitness account and it just makes me feel good. I don't know. But like, the main takeaway from this one is that people take social media way too seriously, and like, it's all a joke, guys. I just think social media is definitely a good thing to have at this point in our life. Some people might disagree. Like, you don't need to be on it, obviously. I have friends who don't even have Instagram, and that's cool too. But if you choose to be on it, just don't take it too seriously. You know, take everything with a grain of salt. Don't assume things are about you. That's just not a look. All I'm saying is that, like, it doesn't need to be a negative atmosphere if you don't make it one. Follow what you want to follow, read what you want to read. Believe what you want to believe, honestly. Like, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Okay. And I just started touching my necklaces, which is a part of my, I don't know why this is a part of it, but I'm gonna come up closer to you guys. So I started wearing mixtures of like gold and silver necklaces in 2019. I never wore necklaces. Like, I absolutely hated necklaces for some reason, or just like all jewelry, all makeup. And I've come to realize in 2019 that necklaces make me feel cooler. So I plan on continue wearing them in 2020. That one's just really random. There's no life lesson there. So number 14, I am gonna read it because it's kind of hard for me to explain, but what I wrote down was, you truly do manifest positive energy into your life by believing it into existence. Nothing monumental happened to me in 2019 per se, but I thought about all I was grateful for at the beginning of my days, and I found that the universe really did deliver me mainly positive vibes from people and events that occurred. I just think like waking up a fresh start every day with positive energy, like thinking about everything you're grateful for, what you're hoping to achieve throughout your day, it really just brings you more positive vibes into your life. I remember I was watching like the documentary The Secret, and someone said an example like, oh, you wake up, right when you wake up, you stub your toe on your dresser and you're like, well, god damn it, now it's gonna be a really bad day. And if you just like go about your day with that mindset, you're probably gonna have a bad day. So yeah, anyway, I just think that if you really believe and you really want to manifest that positive energy into your life, the universe will bring it to you eventually. It might not be that day, but even though 2019 was pretty much just like a plateau to me, a lot of good things happened, but also a lot of bad things happened, which kind of made 2019 like just plateau for me. It wasn't like a monumental year where everything was so amazing, but I honestly think it was one of the most positive years of my life, regardless of those bad things, because I was constantly thinking and trying to bring those positive vibes into my life. I think it worked. I feel like a new woman this year, honestly, and I plan on continuing this into 2020, obviously. Okay, I wasn't gonna add this one in because it's like very personal to me, but I'm gonna just read it because it's a little bit easier for me, and then maybe I'll go about explaining it after. But it says, sometimes people use you and make it seem like they truly care and want you in their life, when in reality they wanted you for something just to let you go. It's usually evident early on in the friendship or relationship, and instead of hoping it'll last like I did, I now realize it's easier to just let go sooner rather than later. So I just had certain people in my life that maybe I don't know, maybe I just think this, but there were certain people in my life I honestly feel like just wanted a few things from me and then kind of just like shoved me off to the side, and I just really wanted to believe that they really cared and really wanted to be in my life, but I really don't think they did. If I tend to see these tendencies again in 2020, I'm probably just gonna let them go sooner rather than later, because I just went through a lot of personal like hurting, I guess, because of that, and that's just not worth my time. If you know anyone like this, maybe it's time to let them go in 2020, because it's definitely better to do it sooner rather than later. If you're just hurting for no reason, what's the point? You'll probably find someone way better, whether that's a friend or like a partner. You'll probably find someone way better than that anyways. Number 16 is that I realized in 2019 having your me time in your happy place is super important. So I have 2 happy places. One of them is the gym, obviously, and the second one is literally right outside this door, sitting on the couch with Isaac and my cat Felix, watching something, watching a movie, watching a show. Obviously we watch like The Office, Friends, That 70s Show. Those are like our like best shows. We love those shows. We also just finished watching YOUVE season 2, and that was pretty great. I really liked it. So yeah, those are my 2 happy places, and I've always been doing them for the last 3 years, but I didn't realize just how much peace and relaxation they gave me. Obviously neither of those are going to be leaving my life in 2020 or at all. Like, they're going to stay in my life forever. So just having that like happy place and me time is super important. And even if it's only like 10 minutes a day, even if you want to like meditate or something, that's really important too. I think that might be a goal for me, is to try and meditate in the morning. I say that every year. Same with like, I'm gonna read 2 books, and then I read like 1.5 and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't. But anyway, yeah. Number 17 is something that I've already known for a really long time, but I just think it's important to put this in here so you guys can know what I'm talking about. But being out in nature is, again, probably one of my other happy places, but it's also just so important for you, like physically, mentally, emotionally anyway. Like, I went camping 3 times this summer, and I tried to get outside as much as possible. I think having a little bit of nature time every day is like very important for your mental health. So just being able to like breathe in that fresh air, go on nice walks, and just feel more like cleansed and refreshed is super important throughout your day. So whether that be like if you have a dog and you want to take him or her for a walk in the morning, I just think that it's really important to add that into your day to kind of just cleanse yourself and refresh and reset. Also, when you're in nature, you just start to realize more and more how beautiful our environment is and how much more beautiful it could be if we actually tried to fix things and make a difference. That's just coming from my like environmentalist point of view, but like honestly, I've just become way more sustainable over the last year or 2, and it's probably because I've been in nature a lot more and just starting to realize more and more how important it is to save it rather than deteriorate it. Alright guys, 2 more. We got 2 more here. Number 18 is that doing YouTube and doing Instagram at the same time, simultaneously, while doing my master's is hard. It's hard, okay? I really enjoy it, which is why I kept doing it. I'm like insanely passionate about recording, editing, posting like captions on Instagram, all that stuff. I really like it, and once again, that kind of goes with the social media thing, is like it is what you make it out to be. So like I didn't just put myself through this because I thought like it would get me popular or something. I just really enjoyed being on YouTube and being on Instagram. So it's really hard, but it's worth the work if you enjoy it, and I genuinely enjoy doing this, guys. So I hope that kind of comes through to you guys through the lens. I don't really know, but I just really like doing this. I would not be talking to you guys for like half an hour if I didn't. YouTube's hard, editing's hard, but it comes with practice and it's really fun, honestly. So if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel or like an Instagram or something that's more like business based, definitely try it out. The best thing you could do is try. If you're scared, don't be. Like, it gets better over time, which leads me to number 19, which is that things get better. I'm gonna read it and then we'll talk about it. I know this is looking further back than 2019, but thinking about my entire university career and how far I've come really makes me realize that the right people and opportunities will come to you if you, like I said before, not only manifest them, but also put in the effort and hard work to receive them. So I just say here, like, in my first year of university, I literally got like a 13% on my first midterm. Like, that's really bad. And I went from like a 60, I think it was like a 67% average in first year to like an 83 average in my 4th year, and overall I got like a 78 average, which I'm so proud of. And like, that's what I mean, just like opportunities and things just get better. In my 3rd year, I think it was, I got my first like lab job, and that led me to get into my master's, to have this opportunity. Another random thing, like in 2016? I'm gonna ask him. One second. Isaac, did we meet in 2016?
Yes.
Yeah?
2016.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah. So in 2016, that makes sense because I started my university in 2015. So yeah, in 2015, before the summer came, I realized that I wanted to stay in Guelph and work. And like, that's another thing too. If I had chosen to go home, I would not have met Isaac in that summer. And that's just crazy to think about, like what my life would be like without him. So everything just like comes in your life for a reason. You make your decisions to lead you to the place you're meant to be. And I think just things get better over time. Like, you might be in a bad situation right now, but maybe in 2021 or at the end of 2020, you'll realize, like, with all of the stuff I've just talked to you guys about, you'll really learn how to like manifest positive things into your life. You'll learn how to, you know, budget properly, save money, give you that stress release, all that stuff. So yeah, what else did I put here? Oh, I also talk about my horrible roommate situations. So from like 2016 to 2017 or 18, beginning of 2018, I had really bad roommate situations. And again, I met Isaac and like we hung out a lot, and then we started dating and all that stuff, and it ended up that we ended up living together, which I had to go through all of that shit, I guess, to lead me to this amazing house and home with him and Felix. And I just think, I don't know, I just think I've turned into a very grown-up girl, grown-up woman, if you will. So yeah, I just feel better about myself, healthier about everything in my life. And I don't know, 2019 was one of those years that really helped me grow into the person I am right now. So yeah, there's some ups and downs. There were lots of things that happened that I just love and will never forget. Like, I went to see Olivia O'Brien, I went to see Ariana Grande for the 3rd time. Isaac and I saw Black Bear for the 3rd time. Just so many things happened in 2019 that I'm like eternally grateful for, and I don't think I would have changed anything. Even though there was some shitty times, everything was really good too. That was 19 things I've learned in 2019, and just some advice for you guys, I guess, too. I don't know if that helped at all, but if you guys liked this video, I know it was a long one, but I hope you guys watched all the way through and enjoyed. Please give this video a big thumbs up if this helped you at all, and do not forget to subscribe so we can grow our little fam in 2020. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching once again, and Happy New Year, guys. Happy 2020, happy new decade. Like, this is crazy, so make the most of it. Okay, bye guys.